Good evening, Twitch. Or good morning, or good afternoon. You may be in a different time zone than I am, which is a bit mind-boggling sometimes to think about. Welcome to yet another Friday evening stream. Today will be a good stream. And we already have Trevor in chat. People, Trevor is in the house. Welcome, Trevor. I have something special for you. Actually, for all of you today, there's something special. So Trevor has apparently not been streaming yet. Maybe they will get around to it. Today we have a special stream, my friends. Today is a sponsored stream from Panoply. And I will explain a little bit about what Panoply is. Obviously not from a Panoply perspective, but from a end user perspective. And so I'm very happy to be hosting this stream today. And we will be taking this tool for a test drive. And as Trevor knows, I will not be holding back. I will be putting this thing through its paces. And I'm sure you are all wondering, well, what this thing even is. What is Panoply? So that's what we're doing today. So according to Panoply's website, we're committed to making it easy for companies to sync, store, and access all their data. That is what they do. Let's dive right in. So today will be I would say a little bit of a different stream. If you're familiar with the last few streams that we've had, where we've been playing with PDF data and things like that. We won't be doing that necessarily directly today. We might have to jump into Postgres, who knows? One thing we will be doing is just testing out Panoply and seeing what it can do for people like us that like to work with data. This is a really important part of the data value chain, data engineering, kind of the middle where data comes together and is processed and gets put into some place for storage. That's a really important part of the value chain, because if you don't do that properly, then everybody knows it's going to be a hell of a lot more work afterwards. And that is why I'm really happy that Panoply reached out and said, oh, why don't you spend some time doing this on stream, raise awareness of this field and raise awareness of not only their tool, but this market in general. Because typically most people think that you need to code to do this kind of thing. And I mean, Science and Technology on Twitch is full of streamers showing you how to code. Many of my comrades in the Claw are showing you how to code things, but sometimes there are no code or low code solutions to certain problems. It doesn't mean that necessarily low code or no code is right for your business. It doesn't mean that coding is right for your business. It means that it exists, and you can definitely look at it as a serious contender to programming your own data pipelines, or at least the ins and outs of data engineering. So let's just take a look here at Panoply's site, just so we can get a feel for what's happening. And as usual, if you have questions, comments, concerns, wishes, wedding lists, any kind of stuff, just pop it in the chat, and we'll definitely be able to deal with that. So one of the things Panoply does is it allows you to connect the sources. So this is about ingesting the data that you have somewhere. So you might have it in, I don't know, MySQL database, or you might have here like in Google Analytics or in Google Ads or in Zendesk. There's over 50 data sources. We'll take a look at those. You can then store it in these analysis ready tables, as they're called. And then you can do some business logic on the data that you've pulled into Panoply. And then, and this is what I think is cool, is you can push this stuff back out into things like Tableau, Looker, etc. And this is pure democracy. And because we do have Trevor in chat and possibly other people from Panoply in chat, if you have questions directly for Panoply, they might even answer them in chat. I don't know. We'll see. So this is a very unique opportunity as well, because most tool providers would probably not partner up with someone in a streaming environment. So I am very humbled that I have the opportunity to do this. And so do take advantage of that chat. Do ask questions if you feel it could be interesting to ask questions about Panoply or just in general, as usual. So I've remarked on this to the Panoply team already when I was speaking to them, that I really love this graphic because it encompasses all the different roles within an organization. And I really like this graphic a lot, because I think it explains what this title says. Everyone wins when data flows freely. And it's not, data democratization has so many different components to it, but it is an important part of that is data access. It doesn't mean that everyone needs to have access to raw data tables necessarily, but it needs to happen. So let's do the transparent thing and look at the pricing, because we all want to know what this thing costs, right? So standard annual, you've got a $200 a month light version. So this is for very small businesses. 2 data sources, 5 GBs of storage, which should be more than enough, and you've got the help center. You can take all of these for a 14-day test drive as well. We're doing a 1-day test drive, or rather a 1-stream test drive. But you're more than welcome to sign up for yourself, obviously, which I shall be doing very shortly. There's the starter package, which has more storage and support with also another data source in it. So if you do have 3 data sources, then you would have to go with this kind of plan. More data sources and role-based permissions, which I haven't looked into. Obviously for already kind of data teams, also at that price point, looking at almost twice the starter price, or a little bit more than twice the starter price. And then, business obviously upper end with 10 different data sources and things like that, and very, very fast support. Probably not from this little drift bot, because he probably doesn't know so much, or they don't know so much about Panoply specific topics, but probably from their dedicated support team. And there is an enterprise level where if you have custom things that you need, you can obviously get in touch with them. If you're a big org looking to implement this kind of thing, then one word of note, maybe interesting. I haven't been coached. This is just a sponsored stream. Doesn't mean that I've been coached to say or not say certain things. I'm speaking my mind freely. I'm not being bound or in any way told to say things. So I'm, saying things in an honest way. I won't be critiquing the product necessarily today. I've spent a lot of time with the team doing that already, giving my feedback a little bit. Today is more about looking at what kind of features what kind of features does Panoply offer, and what can we do with it, and not necessarily critiquing it against other systems. So, Trevor says true. I guess you'll just have to take our word for it. And so there's a little visual comparison of the plans. And if you want to know more, you can obviously go to the website. We are going to look at what integrations they support. This will be very important for our tests. Some things we'll be able to use, some things we will not. Needless to say, there's quite a few integrations that they have, so 295 in total. Some of those can be on both ends. I believe Postgres, for example, you can ingest and push out, possibly. Something we'll be looking at. I do believe most of the out level tools. So this part, Monopoly data sources, and then visualization tools. So these are the out ones. Chartio, which is being deprecated, unfortunately. Kumalio, Grafana, Power BI mode, Metabase, which I quite enjoy. I do run it locally as well. If you've been on previous streams, you should have seen that by now. Otherwise, you can also take a look at the VODs. They're all up on YouTube. If you missed some of the previous streams. And yeah, this should be quite cool to look at. If you have suggestions for music, also feel free. But I think we will dive right in. So the idea is that we're going to pull in some data from somewhere. I have some ideas for that, of what we could do. Then we're just going to start manipulating it in Panoply itself, because it supports easy SQL-based view creation. So we can apply some business logic to our tables. And I'm actually very curious to see how powerful the SQL engine is. So we are going to upload something a little bit more challenging, I would say. So let's try this for free, because we don't have a login. So just gonna enter some stuff here. Just gonna hide my email here, because I know this pops up in the auto request forms. It always does this, and there's not an easy way to stop it from happening, so you'll just have to assume that I'm using my own email address. Okay, so an email was sent to my email address where I need to confirm to complete the setup. So we will do that. I hope that this works seamlessly. There we go. So, if everyone can see that on stream, we will name our data warehouse. I am open to naming suggestions, chat. If you would like to suggest a very, very nice name or something a little bit more naughty, I'm open to that. Does it support custom HTTP? Hi, Jay Walter, by the way. Does it support custom HTTP and JSON API as data source? That's a very good question. We could definitely look if it supports custom HTTP and JSON APIs. We can definitely look. I know that there is some kind of custom API support. We can definitely look. So if no one has suggestions for names, I shall name this the real Maddie Two Shoes. Okay, so customers usually DRPP. You might have to explain that one, Trevor. I'm not familiar with the term. So we have to put a password. I will blank this so that no one sees my beautiful passwords. Let's see. I think we'll just do something like that. Works. So now we can create our data warehouse. I mean, I realize the password field is just stars, but I feel like you can still see it, if that makes sense. So in the background, I have started up Docker. There's a reason for that. If you've been on one of the previous streams, you'll know that we were looking into a fairly complicated data set of over 520,000 rows. Twitch streams, yo. Our company is massive. This is going to skew all of your stats. I'm sorry, Trevor, or anyone else watching from Panoply. I'm the founder of Twitch streams, yo. And I would like to analyze files. So we're going to launch. All right. So it's already created a data warehouse for us, which was super quick. I assume that happened in the background. Now we just have to add our data sources and we have to connect the BI tool, or we can query data in Panoply itself. So we have to get our data ready and we have to figure out what data we're going to use. We are going to use from a couple streams back, actually. Someone remind me how many weeks it's been since we looked at the recipe data. I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks already. But that is what we are going to do. Once this stuff has booted up, it's a little bit slow. So we have these this recipe data set. I don't know if anyone remembers, but this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. So it's like all these different recipes, and we had to do like significant amount of cleanup actually to get this stuff looking tidy. And so what we need to do is we have the ingredients for each recipe. We did it like this, where we actually split out all the ingredients and we split out all the keywords. So we're going to upload all 3 of these tables. In order to do that, we need to export this. So we're going to export data to file. We're just going to put it in our downloads because that's where we put everything, don't we? Comma separated. I'm using semicolons because I have a feeling that there might be an issue with the commas in the actual columns of those ingredients. I know that we had an issue with that last time. So we'll just use semicolon, and we'll hope that Panoply can deal with semicolon, but it shouldn't be an issue. So that you can see here, the little Nyan cat down here is telling me that it's running whatever it needs to run to export. I really like this progress bar. I'm so glad I did this upgrade. So how is everyone doing today while we wait for this to save the file? It's 520,000 rows, so it'll take a few minutes. Let me know how your week was. My week personally was a bit up and down. Some highlights, some more lowlights, things I didn't really want to spend time doing, but had to do, you know, those kinds of things. But generally it wasn't too bad. Spent a bit of time customizing some Twitch stuff, just to make the stream experience a little bit easier. For me and you, of course. Almost done here. 460,000. All right, so Sorry, I've done something weird here with my messages view. All right, so it's been saved. We can continue. I'm not sure why, but I did something odd with my OBS thing. Give me 1 second here. Chat. Please be patient with me. I don't know what happened. I kind of blocked. I blocked myself in a profile view, which is very weird. Very, very weird. I don't really know how to get out of that. Seeing as I'd like to interact with you, chat, I will attempt to fix this briefly. In the meantime, we are going to run this one. So export data to file. This is the ingredients, also semicolon separated. I think we can run both of these at the same time. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. There we go. So that's oh, this is really annoying. I actually don't know how to get rid of this module. Let's try like this. Nope. So I have like the Twitch chat module, and I clicked on someone's profile in chat and now it's kind of locked. So that's a bit annoying. This is a bit weird. Give me 1 second, please, chat. Sorry. That's really annoying. Don't know what it's doing here. This is very annoying. Most definitely. Not a great experience for you, chat. I know. I'm sorry about that. Trying to somehow if I can figure out a way to Okay, someone's gonna have to help me because I actually don't know how to get out of this one, but I will deal with that another time. And I will figure out a way to do this later. So it's a bit awkward, but I will manage. Have no fear. I'm sure that my fellow friends from Discord will help me out later, but for the moment, we will leave it the way it is. I think the exports have probably finished. It does certainly look like it. Wonderful. So let's take a look then at these exports. So we have the food recipes, the food keywords, and the recipes themselves, of which is the bulk. So the 700 meg file, pretty significant. We can close data group now, we won't need that for the moment. And we can also get Docker to quit because, well, we don't need that running for the moment. So welcome, Panoply. So welcome to anyone who's joined. We are taking Panoply for a test drive today. Panoply is a very interesting SaaS tool, and they are kind enough to sponsor this stream for me to take this tool for a bit of a test drive. So if I didn't react to one of your messages in chat from before, I may have missed it. So if you had a question or something like that, some people from Panoply are here in chat to answer some specific questions you may have. But we are going to just continue here by adding our data source. So the data source we want to use, so this was, Jay Walter, you were talking about APIs. There's quite a few native APIs that they support. So I can see there's a couple new ones since I last checked. Custom APIs are always really tricky to do, but they support also ETL tools themselves. So you can actually pipe data from those tools into these tools or vice versa, I believe, which is pretty interesting. As you know, as Panoply supports BI tools directly, you may want to do that. You know, you pipeline all your stuff with like something like Talend, for example. But you know, that's kind of the things that you have to figure out for your business. In any case, we will use files and we will use file upload. And I do appreciate, Trevor, I don't know if you've done this on purpose specifically for me, but you've put the Pokemon data set that we were playing around with, and some people from StreamRight remember this from one of the previous videos some weeks ago already. You can actually go watch on YouTube. There's a few there's all the VODs from previous streams on there because they disappear from Twitch. But yeah, we were playing with some Pokemon data, figuring out if we could assemble the most perfect Pokemon team. And it seems like that Trevor has offered this Pokemon data as a sample data set, which I think is very cool. So congrats to your team on doing that. That's very cool. So we need to add file upload. So let's do that. So we have 14 days remaining, which is fine. It's plenty of time for today's stream. Let's upload our file. Let's upload the recipes first. Oh, okay. So we have already a problem. It can't be bigger than 100 megs. So we have to either truncate the file so that it's less than 100 megs. I probably closed Postgres too early. Or we can do it a different way. We can also do it this way. So 100 megs, the file has like 522,000 rows. So what we will do is we will actually just do this in Sublime. Sublime Text is a very cool text editor. Allows you to be very efficient. Even this massive 700 meg file easily processed. One thing we will have as an issue is that when we take out some of the recipes, not all of them will join afterwards. But we will, you know, we take that into account because in a normal scenario, a CSV file in your desktop is not going to be 700 megabytes. You'll be doing this from some more professional, I would say, data source where you can just ingest the data properly. I'm being lazy and doing it this way. So I choose to be lazy, and for that I pay a price. I've also paid a price because this file is pretty large, so Sublime is struggling a little bit with that, because I tried to minimize the text so that I could see how many lines I truncate. Okay, might have to quit that one if it's not responding. It could be working. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll down here, I don't know, say half, and we'll just remove this half. I know it's not very accurate. There's actually a lot of lines here. 960,000. That seems like a lot more than I had originally. Interesting. We didn't actually check the data quality of this. We probably should have. because I can see that there's some weird stuff happening here. So these are fine, but these are not. Yeah, that's definitely not very good. This is what I meant about these recipes and instructions. So, okay, we're gonna go back to Docker and do some more data prep work. Back to Postgres, I mean. And we're gonna do some more data prep work because I don't think it's responsible to try and upload. Oh, wow, this is great. What's happening here? So I closed Docker. It obviously did some kind of update in the background. Very cool. Thank you very much. I really hope all of my containers are still there. Otherwise, we will have a serious issue. That would be detrimental for sure. Because I don't have a backup of my database. I really wish. The engine is still starting, so I think it shouldn't be an issue. We'll just close this out. We really don't need that for the moment. Let's see if we can get data grip fired up again. There we go. Postgres. So if anyone's interested, actually, Postgres is just the spatial data set. Or spatial, what's it called? Spatial analysis module for Postgres. Why didn't data grip open? Pretty sure I opened it. It's a good thing we have 14 days because at the rate we're going now, we won't even have a CSV loaded by the end of the stream, so. Yeah, for anyone who's watching, how's your day been? How's your week been? We are at the end of the week again. It's lovely to have you all here. Appreciate you watching. Enjoying the stream, hopefully. I know it hasn't been super excited. Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon is the fallback. I wanted to do it with the recipes because then we'd be able to join some stuff together. So so recipes, select star from, this is too small for people to read, from food.recipes, and we'll do limit, I don't know, 100,000 or Google Analytics. Yeah, if I had Google Analytics data to show, you only have one event per month, then not that interesting. I would say. Well, Google Analytics has their standard demo account. The main issue that we will have with my Google account is my Google account is locked down to the 9s, so I can't actually use it with most third-party tools. We have this stuff. I want to have everything, but I don't want to have all the stuff causing problems. So we'll do recipe ID. Actually, there's a cool way to do this in Postgres, or rather in data grip, is that one of the suggestions here, you can see it on screen, is actually all of the columns. So if you do that, you have all of them, and then you can just auto format, and then you get all of them, and then you can remove the lines that you don't want. So for example, I want recipe name, author ID, author, I don't care about those. We don't care. Cook time, prep time, total time, date published is irrelevant, description is important. We don't care about images. Recipe category is important. Keywords we split out already. Ingredient quantities is irrelevant for what we're doing today. Ingredient parts we split out already into here. And we can keep the rating and the review, all the nutritional data. Yeah, that might be horrifying. And recipe instructions, that's the part that was causing us a couple issues. Sorry, just need to hydrate here. All right, so we can just truncate this data set a little bit. Now, as we remove columns, the actual export will get smaller. So we can try and CSV this to maybe classic CSV now with commas. Add column header, export the file. Let's see if this file is smaller. 26 megs. Wow, that's a big difference. I think dropping the whole table versus the query also makes a difference to some extent. What happens if we don't have the limit in here? Let's try this. Maybe the file is smaller. Let's replace it. Let's live dangerously. I'm hoping it's under 100 megs was the limit. 1/5 was around 20. It's not linear, I'm guessing. Yeah, we're over the 100 mark. At around 350 it was. So we'll probably have to just take 320 or something. Yeah, 159. So we'll just take a limit of, I don't know, 350,000. More than enough to analyze. We'll be missing some data, but it's not a big deal. Just for test driving purposes, right? So, come on. Come on. Go, Nyancat, go. If you've saved up enough channel points, by the way, there is a new reward, which is a 5,000 channel point spend for epic sax guy. And I had to write saxophone because of the filters. Oh, 110, we're over. Okay, we need to go down to 250, sorry. Just to be safe. So if you do have a lot of channel points burning a hole in your pocket, feel free to dump them on that. Or save them up for a little bit, because I can promise you that there will be a channel point reward, as in goal, community goal coming up. Okay, we're at 72. This is good. So we have recipe keywords. Hey, SQL data partners. I'm not sure which one of you it is, so I'll say hi to all of you. Thanks for joining the stream. So now we have all three. Wonderful. I'm not closing DataGrip because we may run into other problems, but that's more of a data problem and not a panoply problem. That has to be said. So now we can choose the recipes, which is under the 100 megs. It should read the data as it finds it, so it will find the things that it needs. There's some advanced stuff here. The delimiter is a space semicolon other. Interesting. So if they don't use comma or tab, I see some adjustments have been made. So destination table, we will call this recipes. Schema, okay, we only have one anyway. Primary key, I think it's called recipe ID. I'll have to go back to the file and check what I named it. Or we just open DataGrip and see what it's actually called. Recipe ID. So I think we should write recipe ID. I think this is how I'd name it. Panoply automatically selects the primary key using available ID columns. If none are available, you may configure this manually by choosing the columns to use. Okay. Well, the column is called recipe ID, so I assume that this should work. Oh, Sharpclaw. Nice to see you around. been a while. I haven't seen you streaming for a bit. I know that you were streaming a few months back, right? So we have to... If your file uses semicolon as a delimiter, must select it. I think we changed it to comma. Because I didn't want it to cause problems. Because I knew semicolon caused issues last time. So I can double check the file to make sure. Okay, preview is not opening this thing. So we will just do it in Sublime as usual. Pretty sure I used comma. Yep, comma. So this should work out. Let's do this. Save changes. Okay, so we've done everything. We've now said that we are going to import our recipes into the recipes table, and that we're using recipe ID as a primary key because it's not named ID, which is fine. They can't know. Enable truncate, no, we don't want to do any kind of fancy stuff with that. So we can't make changes to the data source while it is collecting, which makes sense. It's collecting our data, which basically means parsing the CSV file. Now it's 250,000 rows, I think was what we did. Yeah, 250,000. So let's see how fast it is. But this is, you know, it's a SaaS tool, right? You're paying for the environment, and they have to dynamically scale according to how much you're throwing at it. So if we suddenly throw a file that's 250,000 rows, it may be expected or unexpected for them. We don't know. Depends how they've configured their software, right? Well, I heard this dude named Schrodinger put cats inside a box. Schrodinger's cat. Pretzel really services odd music decisions on Surprise Me. I'll just say that. It's not something that I'm used to yet. So does anyone want to place an estimate on how long this might take? This is obviously not the biggest one that we have. The other files are also pretty big in terms of row counts as well. But you know, data processing takes time. I mean, no one can expect stuff to be instant. That's not how the world works. Even though all the marketing videos would have you believe that it is instant. Oh, this doesn't like this. I'm changing the song, I'm sorry. I'm vetoing this one. Too much chit-chat over my chit-chat. Speaking of chit-chat, if you want to join our lovely Discord community, I can really recommend it. It's a very, very wholesome community, very supportive. They've helped me numerous times. Let's start the others to save time. Oh, can we? I didn't know we could do that. Data source. I just opened a new tab. I don't know if I break something. I don't want to close this one. So okay, so there's a file upload running. We'll just do another one then. APIs, databases. Files and services, file upload. So, recipe keywords. Same spiel. We have a recipe ID. Exclude certain data such as names, addresses, or PII. Ah, cool. So you can drop columns essentially on the import. That's also kind of nice. So let's collect that. Oh, wow. Okay, this one did. That's fancy and quick. Definitely. Let's open a third tab. This is also seeing if we can break the software a little bit. I know that no one from Panoply wants me to do that, but it may be fun to try and break it. Unintentionally, of course. We're just doing stuff that we would normally do. File upload. Now I don't remember. We did keywords. Yeah, keywords. I like that this is grayed out so you can still see vaguely what you typed. That's actually quite a nice touch. Ingredients. This is the big one because this one will tell us what meals we're even able to cook. Oh, the primary key should be in curly brackets. Ooh dear. What will happen when the primary key is not in curly brackets? Let's find out. We can go find out before we do the third one. Manage viewers, okay. Loading a preview. Oh, so there is a key. It's just called ID. Because it created one because it didn't know. Yeah, fine. That's fine. Then we'll, you know what? We'll just leave it that way, and we won't specify a primary key on this one, just because. Okay, recipe ingredients. Collect. So you cannot make changes to the data source. Fine. Okay, so now we have a table, and we can directly go to query here, which is cool. Ooh. Who likes dark theme? I like dark theme. Shame we can't get the whole thing in dark theme. That would be nice. So shift enter is to execute. So shift enter it is. Okay, that was fast. So we have the stuff that we did last time. There's some additional columns like state and things like that. I would want to actually see these explained somewhere. I'm sure they are explained somewhere, but it would be nice to see like a doc. Sorry, I had to sneeze and I wanted to save all your eardrums. Cool, that's also done. And this one's still completing. So this is cool. I would like to see like a documentation of these additionally added columns. Obviously they have to do with the import and stuff. Some, you know, UUID format stuff and things like that. But I would kind of want to see that here somewhere what it is. What's also interesting is there's this jobs feature, which we'll get to in a little bit, because okay, so this was the uploads were in the jobs thing, but we can kind of schedule some things apparently. So we're in the workbench. If I stop opening multiple tabs, we are now in the workbench, which is kind of nice because you go from left to right here. So you start in home, which leads you what you need to do, and then you get to data sources. You define your data sources, in our case just CSV files. They create tables, and now you're in the workbench. So we don't have our fancy NyanCat here, but we do have a SQL console. In the background, I'm not sure if it's running Postgres or MySQL or anything like that. We will find that out momentarily when we start writing queries, I assume. One of the things we want to do is we want to join. So we want to join the recipes with the public. Ooh, I can't type today. Public dot. And there's no auto completion here, so we're on our own for all of our queries today. And I hope this is big enough for everyone. If not, do let me know. I can expand this font size a little here. So we want to join this with the recipe keywords, first of all. And let's see what that gives us. Oh. Syntax error. Oh yeah, because we don't have any keys, right? Sorry, it's Friday, people. Please excuse me. So left join public keywords. We're gonna start naming these. What do we call this? Recipe keywords. No wonder it's not gonna work anyway. Definitely Friday. Recipe keywords. I think it was recipe ID equals RCP dot recipe ID. Let's see, recipe ID number, recipe keywords. It hasn't updated. Oh yeah, ID keywords text. Ah, this one's semicolon. I just noticed that. If we go to the tables, these are a little bit bigger, so I'm impressed that it happened so quickly. It was like 2 million rows, so could we split this? Ah, how to handle nested array or object? No. Does this column contain an object that should be parsed into 2 columns on name value? That's nice. It's a little bit too late because we did semicolon. I know, Alan, you're gonna yell at me now, which is fine. So that's key. What about the ingredients? Did we do the same thing? Yeah, they're semicolon. We'll just have to split them on the fly. It would be easier. It would be easier to, yeah, everyone's face palming themselves at the moment. There's an appropriate sound in the sound alerts if anyone wants to spend channel points on that. We could re-import them. I suppose we can actually delete these because the data size is much bigger than the actual. Yeah, let's just delete them. Why not? It also makes sure that deletion works. You know, I'm just testing things for you, so no problem. So let's start the... Oh, we can even make little folders here. That's cool. Let's add another data source then. This time will be different. So we have to tell it that the delimiter is semicolon. Because I'm not going to go re-export the files. I ain't doing that. Primary key, blah, blah, blah. It will actually select the primary key in this one automatically because the data source has ID in it. I'm optimistic and I'm shutting down Docker because I don't think that we need it anymore. I know it's optimistic. Even without anyone writing in chat, everyone's thinking, oh, this is very optimistic. He's already made 2 mistakes today. There's nothing stopping him from making a 3rd. And you're right about that. But I have no problem making mistakes. That's why we're all here to learn. I forgot which one we did again. Does this keep my query if I leave? I guess we'll find out. Jobs. It would be cool to see the file name, but we can go back to tables. It hasn't created the table yet. If anyone saw which one I selected first, I don't remember. We can just wait for the table to appear. It will only appear once it's finished. There's no way to see what it is. Collection history, last run. Okay, so if you, obviously if you do it with a real data source, not just a CSV file, you will get the option to also set it up with a timeline, I assume, with the schedule. So this is still running. Data sources, tables. Ah, here, keywords. Okay, so it was ingredients we need to do. That was fine. Everyone can tell me about their day in the meantime. So all these people here, and I haven't heard from most of you about how your day is going or has been, or how you think it will be if you're already in the future. As in your time zones ahead of me. Recipe ingredients. We need to tell it that it's semicolon, otherwise it doesn't know. Collect this. What a tune. 333,000 Twitch save tracks on Pretzel. That is very cool. I don't know how many are on Stream Beats. Is Panther here yet? She would get upset if I talked about Stream Beats. So I'm getting also a lot of these emails that tell me that, you know, data source finished successfully and stuff like that. Just in case you were wondering about the communication. So let's go back to our workbench. So we have the recipe keywords in here now, and now it's split out. Cool. So we will do select star from recipes called RCP. Do we need to put the schema in here? We probably do. And it was in there in the example. We probably need to do it. No, we don't. That's nice. Maybe because there's only one schema. So we'll do our left join recipes keywords RCP RCK rck.id equals rcp.recipe id, and then we'll do, I don't know, limit 10, and we should get everything. Well, let's do rcp.star and then only rck. What's the keywords? Yeah, keywords. Then we should get relation recipes keywords does not exist. Oh, oops. My bad. Okay. So I believe this one has finished. Great. So basically now we have these three tables. 500. Okay. Interesting that the number of rows is smaller. That's very interesting. There was like 2.5 million there before. Wonder why that is. Mysteries. Yeah, so here we have everything from recipes, and then we also have here the keywords. And if we look at one recipe in particular, where's the recipe ID? We need to order by it. Order by rcp.recipe ID. So you see actually already with this kind of query, so it's 520,000 or 250,000 and 520,000 rows. You can see this query takes a few seconds to run. And we didn't have this problem locally when we were using Docker. And the reason for that is that locally, everything is processed in memory. And that's obviously not the case here. They're obviously doing a little bit different processing, obviously. So you see here, where's this recipe ID? 38. It has only one keyword. Dessert. But there are recipes, I believe, that had multiple keywords. So we could find that out by basically saying, I don't know, recipe ID, rcp.name, which is the recipe name, and then we can just do count distinct RCK keywords, and we call this like keyword count. Blah, blah, blah. Group by 1 and 2. Order by recipe ID. So we can just actually order by 1 in this case. I'm curious how long this takes to process. So one thing I would like to do is do some more trimming to get ourselves a little data set that we can visualize based on like cook times and stuff like that. Or even maybe like saturated fat. Descriptions look pretty boring. Probably shouldn't have included them. That's my bad. Is there anything people would like to see in particular? Or questions you may have? There's a couple people from Panoply kicking around in chat as well. What do people think of the music choice today? Pretzel always surprises me with the surprise station. You never know what you're gonna get. Which is pretty nice, actually. I do like being surprised. You know, when I'm working on something, then I need to have it. So you see here, okay, so we've got recipes that all have one keyword. Let's see if there's a couple that have more than one keyword. And the way that we'll do that is we'll just order by 2 descending. Could have done this before as well. And then we'll get a couple of recipes that have more than one keyword. And I'm curious if there's a couple of recipes that have more than one keyword because, yeah, they're like multi-category recipes, so they might be more interesting. I don't know. So this is the kind of data exploration you can do. So it seems that there are none that have more than one keyword. Oh, you know what? We did a count distinct. That's not good. Because actually, we need to count the rows. I made a boo-boo. Oh, it's okay. So if you did shift enter here, it didn't run the query. It only ran it when I was here at the end with my cursor. Small inconvenience. Oh, so we still only have one keyword per recipe. Okay. I thought there were more, but maybe there isn't. I don't remember exactly. It's already been a few weeks ago. That's fine. No problem. So we have some interesting recipes. We can start to filter down stuff. So we can see all the stuff here. But before we go into too much SQL, because I didn't promise to do SQL today. If people want me to do SQL, that's fine. But then you got to write in chat and say, Maddie, we want to see more SQL. And that's fine. But I want to do a couple of the other stuff with the BI connection. I really just want to see how it works because I haven't tried it. So I have a BI tool connection detail. So I can connect this to anything that I want. That's kind of cool. Featured tools, Metabase, Power BI, Looker, Chartio, Trevor.io, which I've never heard of. Grafana. I want to add you to a GA account so that you can try it. I don't think it will work because I think GA data with my Google account it's not going to allow me to connect. But we could try Trevor because I've never used it before, so it could be good fun. Oh. What did I put in here? Do I remember? I don't remember if I remember. Oh, look at that. First try. That's amazing. So I'm just going to connect this little Trevor IO. I've never heard of this before. Sounds really interesting. Setting up a workspace. Okay, you do that. Yeah, everyone's seen the email now, so that's too late for that. But anyway, we shall try to set up a visualization layer so that we can, we can visualize the stuff that we do in SQL, because otherwise it's a bit boring. Oh, this looks cool. Okay, I want to query builder, save queries, dashboards, database map. Oh, look at that. It already added my data source. That's cool, man. What? Really? Oh, this is nifty. Wait, so we don't need to do this in Monopoly anymore? Like this kind of query that we did, we could just do it here? Oh, I see. It's not raw SQL. It's like an actual query. This looks nifty. Export to Google Sheets, create a Slack alert. There's some cool stuff here. Export as actual SQL. Oh, this is very nifty. Yeah, wow, okay. What's behind this Trevor.io? Never heard of this. 2.5 million queries a month. Wow, that's a lot. Looks very cool. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. 2016. Okay. Oh, they're a GmbH. Interesting. GmbH is the German, Austrian, and Swiss small legal entity. I actually don't know where they're from, which is really cool. Really, really cool. They have a lot of stuff here about their security and everything. I'm really impressed by this. So that's nice. Unexpected surprise. Indeed. So if we join a table, propose join options. Okay, launch a custom wizard. Recipe keywords. Ah, from Berlin. Very nice. So, oh right, yeah. So this is kind of Tableau-esque, where you can kind of create a data source within the BI tool. I typically don't do this because I like to model my data before it actually reaches the BI tool. But seeing as we're just playing around today, Yak, very nice to see you. How was your stream? Or are you still streaming and on my channel? That would be crazy. You should definitely go and follow Gak because he does really cool content. He's also one of the few streamers I know that plays hardstyle during his streams. Hardstyle music. So recipe columns. Combine rows based on... No. Hold on. I want... Okay, join recipe ingredients, because obviously that's not interesting. The other one. Recipe ID equals... left join. Oh, did I select the wrong one? Oh, I had to do... Where is this? Recipe ID? Recipe yield? Where's the recipe ID? This is very confusing. It was okay until some people started to do heavy backseating and I rage raided so I don't ban the entire chat as I'm tired after doing construction work for the whole day. Rage raiding. Who did you end up raiding? Who was around? There's quite a few people online at the moment, I can see. Melky. Oh, Meeks, okay. Awesome. Oh, yeah. I mean, Melky. Why did I read that and immediately understand who that was? That was very strange. Everyone is live. Yeah, it's, you know, Friday evening prime time. Speaking of prime time, I have this cool sound effect now. Check this out. This is Friday evening prime time, people. People get bonus points if they can guess what that's from. So I don't understand how this works, to be honest. Something equals ID. Recipe ID equals ID.
Perfect.
I see you've saved up your channel points, Gak, but there's a new reward. You might want to start saving them again. Join. No joins found. Ask your Trevor admin to configure joins for this table. Price is right indeed, Trevor. Very good guess. Very, very nice. It's kind of addictive. You'll be able to play the sax soon? Oh, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm so looking forward to that. It's gonna be great. Recipe ID. Oh, okay. So there's a format issue because they're probably not the same type or something like that. So recipe ID here. ID is a key. And recipe ID is a number. That's probably why it doesn't like that. Okay. Well, imagine we just did a query with just recipe. We can do actually single value, pie chart, bar chart, line chart, mix bar chart, stack, pivot table. Use the summarize step. Okay. Let's filter, yeah. Calories over 500. Definitely only stuff that's significantly calorie intense. We're not interested in the other crap. Okay, cool. So we have the high calorie stuff. How many results is this? Do I see that somewhere? Oh, 72,000. Cool. So actually you could kind of choose to do this stuff in your kind of data itself, like in Panoply. I'm kind of curious about the jobs, if you can schedule these. So I have a BI connection to Trevor, which is connected. Let's just refresh here. Okay, I'm gonna stop showing my my email address. Give me a second. Okay, well it's already connected, but essentially you have all these jobs running. Oh yeah, that's cool, and you get all the information about the jobs. I would want one to fail just so I could see what the failure looks like. But oh yeah, we should totally do that. Let's do that. Okay, add a data source. What can we fail? Google Sheets. Let's try and do this and just see if it works. Is there no dark mode? I'm sorry for your smoking eyes. We'd have to like activate Chrome's flags. We could actually write that we want dark mode. Nope. We don't have that. Dark Reader is a gift. Ah, yeah. I don't have it installed in Chrome, so I'd have to install it. But I'm gonna try and do the sign in with Google just to see if this works. It's probably not gonna work because I have like hardware settings up to 9. Okay, so I've logged in. Yeah, so what I'm getting here is a 400 error. I'm not going to show it because I'm conscious of my security. A 400 error means policy enforced from Google. Policy enforced basically means if you have the advanced if you have the advanced protection program from Google, which I'm in, Google will not authorize third-party apps. So that is the reason why me connecting to GA, for example, Trevor, would not work, because of this reason. Yes. So that is the reality. Not so bad though. We can still use Trevor.io, which is cool. We also have 14 days here. So let's summarize the sum of the what's the point of third-party login? Well, they're not blocking the third-party apps. It's only because I have activated that security level on my Google account, and I would guess over 99.9% of people with a Google account do not have the advanced protection program active. So it will totally work for those people, right? They can use Zapier, they can use all kinds of cool automation tools that I don't use. Ask me about the time I almost got hacked, and then I'll tell you why I activated that. So yeah, we can do all kinds of cool stuff. So let's do the average fat content. And then we can visualize this properly. So the average fat content is 63, but what if we want a group? Yeah. Oh, look, we can filter by groups. Groups. Recipe category, probably, would be the one that we want to do. What's the top rated category going to be in fat content? Probably desserts. But you never know. Could be anything. Let's see. Dashboard table. What's a dashboard table? All right, we can all do all kinds of cool formatting tricks here. That's very nice. Very, very nice. If you're confused about what we're doing, which is normal if you're just joining, we're taking a look at Panoply, which I always think is like Monopoly. That's why I pronounce it that way. But I think there's different pronunciations. We're taking a look at this cool data tool, which they were kind enough to sponsor today's stream, which is a first for me as well. So thank you, and big shout out to the people at Panoply. But yeah, we have like different ways. Oh yeah, so I can't even pull in a Google Sheet. And it's just a neat way to pull data in and do some stuff with it and push it out again. And what we've done is we've actually connected this Trevor tool, which they have a native connection to, and we can now do some visualization. And this is just ultra cool that you can do this in the cloud. And if anyone has been watching for the last few minutes, like, have you seen me write any code for this? This is literally no code. This doesn't even count as coding, what we've been doing. If you count the SQL that we wrote, yes, obviously, but we didn't need to write that. That was just a little bit of exploration that we did in the workbench. Connecting this, what we've done, which in a normal scenario where I'm not like showing everything and making mistakes with semicolons and things like that, this would take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 maybe max, which is pretty impressive. And so we can already see it's showing us the first 100 data points. So there's too many data points to be shown in the table, which is fine. Oh, look at that, a Harris Heller track. Is White Panther here yet? I know she loves Harris Heller. So this is like alphabetical. There's 267 results. We should maybe try and group them. So let's go back to here. Start from recipes. Can we edit this step somehow? Can we summarize? Oh, we can do more summaries. Columns. Show hide columns. Very interesting. So we can reorder them. Drill down. Drill down. Ah, I see. So we could have like a larger grouping. Yeah, she's still live. I just checked on on the raid settings. Wow, 111 viewers. That's very cool. Definitely on that path to partner, which is nice to hear. But yeah, when she comes in, we'll give her the appropriate shout out if she joins. Filter. So we could maybe, instead of grouping by recipe category, we should do something more distinct that has less values. Prep time. I don't know how many values there are for prep time. Oh boy. A lot of different ones. Let's see. She is definitely most deserving of that attention. Okay, so there's 2 pages. It's still a bit tedious. I would want to do some data prep work. So let's see if we can do some stuff in Workbench and then export the results. So if we take our query from before, let's ignore the keywords for now, just to make things simple. And I mean, we can take what we've done here actually, and we can get this out, right? Where was this? Here we go. So we could export as SQL, and then we can just start from there. Does that work? Yep. So some interesting formatting, but that's fine. I mean, it works, I assume. Yep, it works. So we're just going to put the prep time into buckets. For that, we need to truncate this PT, because that's annoying the crap out of me. Also, I don't like the quotes, but we'll just live with it. So prep time, we'll call it prep time. I do like the prefixes here with the average underscore. That's something I do normally as well on my own. So I really appreciate that they've done it that way. So we have prep time and then average fad content, and we want to do something with the prep time. So case when is the normal thing to do here. Case when, prep time. Oh, we should truncate it first. Should we truncate within the case when? It means that we do it a couple times. Yeah, no big deal. Let's try it out. Let's try, before we do the case when, we want to trim the left. So we want to left trim, or is it regex replace? Nice drop. Drop what, Gak? What do you want to drop? Can't drop anything here. You can drop the mic. We will have a drop game eventually. Really, I promise. I haven't found the time to do it yet, but we will have one eventually. I promise. We want to regex replace, and now we will find out if this is MySQL in the background. So we want to regex replace this. We want to find what's the thing we want to find? PT. Starts with PT actually, and we want to replace it with nothing. Let's see what happens. Super simple and fast to add. Yeah, I've just been... Does not exist in R. Oh, some weird stuff happening here. Hold on a second. Okay. Should we take all the quotes out? Recipes as R, where R dot calories greater than 500. We don't need to group by yet. Oh, we should group by. You're right. R dot prep time. Order by prep time. Oh yeah, so it was like a mix of single and double quote issue. Okay. So now we just have the stuff. 100 hours. Wow. Okay. All right, so we have what we need, because now we can figure out how much these times are in actual. We can do the conversion ourselves to put everything into minutes. So like this is 1008 hours, which honestly is absurd, but okay. So we have a regex replace. Maybe we'll just do a little common table expression here. Let's call this tidy prep time. Formatting is interesting. Still getting used to it. So we'll do hi Flickr, welcome to the stream. Very nice having you here. Beautiful. Have you been lurking? Hi Flickr. Secretly watching. All these people secretly watching me. I'm surprised that Twitch viewers aren't called stalkers. They should make a little subcategory, or they should split the category. They should say viewers are separate from stalkers. Stalkers are people watching the stream who haven't said anything, and viewers are the ones watching who've chatted in the last X minutes or something. How's it going? It's going quite well so far. We are testing out this Panoply. Just spam this in the chat again. It's an interesting tool because it allows you to ingest data from different sources. We've put in our recipe data set. Not the full data set, but most of it. Half of it actually. Just got here waiting at a hibachi restaurant. Oh wow, hibachi. I haven't had that in ages. Our restaurants are closed at the moment, unfortunately. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't know where to go for hibachi here. But that would be pretty epic. For those wondering what hibachi is, this is what it looks like. I think this is pretty realistic. There's like this huge griddle in the middle of the table, and chef cooks live in front of you. All kinds of cool stuff. Anywho, what are we doing? We are prepping a little data table because the problem we had here, we were using Trevor.io, which I believe has nothing to do with the actual Trevor from Panoply. But correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's like a secret stealth startup from you with your two buddies in Berlin or something. But yeah, I'm not happy with the prep times like this because I need to put them in buckets. And from what I understand, I can save queries, but I can't write raw SQL here to translate this stuff. So I'm gonna do buckets here. So I'm gonna tidy it up. So when I do this, it's now gonna be clean prep time. Let's just see what this looks like. Ah, your fiance eat it quite often. That's awesome. I think that, yeah, it's one of the biggest things I miss from Japan. I spent a few years in Japan. I was living there for 4 years, and I miss the cuisine there. The authentic sushi that you don't get outside Japan as easily. So what I would like to do now is count all the hours and minutes separately. So I have to split them. Unfortunately, there's no split key. So split string, no identifier. We don't have an identifier because it's string split. Oh, actually, we could use string split and just split the H if it exists. Well, that might work. Okay, let's try that. Case when. This is to make clean buckets. This is why clean data is super important. So case when regex replace blah blah blah. Let's put this down here. Like. So if it has an S in it, can we just filter the S ones out? I want to do a quick version. Yeah, let's do that. Recipes. Let me just delete this stuff. Disable before deleting. Filter. Prep time contains S. This is actually cool for exploration as well. I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, okay, so there's only one S value, so that's fine. So if it's S, we can just remove them because it's literally 0. So if it's if equals 0S, then 0, just to make it nice. Okay. Some very interesting music here. If the value is... So if it has an hour value in it, like this, I think we can do that here too. Prep time contains H. Then we should get the ones with H in them. Yep. So some of them have H. So something H, something M, then we will want to split it. Then we will do... Oh, I should probably regex replace first. This is gonna get so ugly. Oh, this is gonna get so ugly. Okay, executive decision. We are gonna just do like this. What I'm doing right now, for those of you who are wondering what's going on, I need to create a way to make tidy data. So this is typically the step you would do to model stuff before it goes in your data warehouse. Sorry, this is the stuff you would do in your data warehouse. Once you've ingested your data, you're going to start doing modeling work. Now we haven't like asked stakeholders for requirements because I'm the stakeholder here and I've said what the requirements are, but we've skipped that step. But we are doing the modeling, and the modeling part is super important because without the modeling step, you'd have to do everything in the BI tool itself, which is not always possible, as you can see here, right? We don't have a lot of flexibility in the BI tool, and we also don't want to give that much flexibility necessary to stakeholders who are consuming those reports. So what we do is we tidy it up first. So we have this tidy prep time, and what we can do now is we can make another, excuse my SQL today because it's ugly. If anyone knows that song, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, it's SQL. Okay, that's not how it actually goes, but so this is bucket prep time as, and what we're doing here is saying we have each of the individual ones. Sorry, we have each of the individual values from here which have been truncated. So select star from tidy prep time, and the case when will go here, just so we have all the fields available to us. We should definitely check something, which is else null and prep time. We should check that we can actually use common table expressions, because I haven't actually checked this until now, so we might have actually screwed ourselves over a little bit. I hope not. Prep time with an underscore, is that right? Relation R does not exist. Yeah, this one. That was a big mistake. Okay. So we have to try and format this, because otherwise R does not exist. Where is this coming from? Oh, right. We've already done that. That's silly. Much shorter now and much cleaner. Okay, so shift enter doesn't work in the middle of the query. You need to go to the end. Prep time is ambiguous. Yeah, it is. We're gonna call it tidy prep time. Then we shouldn't have any issue anymore. Oh, okay, so common table expressions work, which is nice. So I'm assuming in the background is Postgres. Maybe someone from Monopoly, if you're in chat still and not working and watching my stream instead of working, someone might yell at you. It may also count as work time. I don't know. You'd have to check with your appropriate manager if this counts as work time. But yeah, if someone could tell me if this is Postgres in the background, that would be helpful. I assume it's Postgres, but I'm not sure. But that's my assumption, based on my limited experience. The regular replace, and then we have tidy prep time, and then we have a nice little bucket prep time, and now we're going to put the things into buckets. So if it's 0, it's 0, fine. If it has an hour and minute value, then we are going to string split. Let's look up string split. I think it's Postgres. Ooh, wait, Postgres, it's split part. Now we can find it out for sure. If it supports split part, it's most probably Postgres. String delimiter field number. So, what was it again? I already forgot. String delimiter field number. So the string is tidy prep time. Delimiter is H. And the field number is 1. Postgres! Congratulations to myself. So then we split this out, and this is then first part. Is that right? I don't know what this is actually going to look like. Let's see what the value is. So this is the part before. So this would be the hour value on Redshift. Postgres Redshift. You have to explain that one, Trevor. I mean, okay, Redshift is a flavor. Postgres? I think. Ah, yeah, it's Amazon's variant of Postgres, right? Yeah. Redshift is blazing fast. We did some cool stuff with Redshift. The company I was working for a year ago. They just stored in Redshift. Lovely. That would explain the performance for sure, depending on what kind of cluster it's running on and stuff. So this is the part before, so we need to do split part this times, so this is the hours, so we do by 60, that gives us the minutes, plus then the second part of this string without the M. So we'll do tidy prep time. We want to do a regex replace. So now there should be only an M left. We want to find an M and replace it with nothing. Does this make sense to everyone? What we're doing is we're splitting the prep time for the hours and the minutes out. So we have 60 times the hours and then plus the minutes. Okay. And when tidy prep time, like star then we just do the second part. Why did my website thing just post into chat? That's odd. That was weird. I didn't actually post that into chat. Which is strange. Maybe it's on a timer or something. I don't know. It's very weird. Don't even have a command for that. How odd. Some weird stuff happening today. So if there's just minutes, then we just want to take the minutes. I don't know if this will work, but we can try. Operator is not unique. Ah. Yeah, so we have to do a cast here. We're gonna make this into numeric times 60. I think it's numeric for casting. Case types numeric and text cannot be matched. Right, because we casted, which means we need to do consistently here, make sure it's numeric, and then here null, so that should be fine now. Oh, it's running. So this is prep time in minutes. Oh, what's happening here? Invalids input syntax for type numeric. This is the danger of trying to do everything in one line. See if we can do some little bracketing here to help things along. Redshift has to numeric. Making sure that we do the to number. Maybe we need to do it that way instead of doing this. might work better. To number. Oh no, that was right. And then just comment this one out for now. Let's see if this works. To number does not exist. Oh, interesting. Okay. I think that's pretty interesting. String, comma, oh, I see. Format. Numeric value with specified number of digits. Maybe I made a mistake. It's not called numeric. I mean, oh, decimal. No. To number, cast, or just, oh, it's decimal, not, okay. That's probably the issue that we had. Instead of numeric, it should be decimal. When you've started working with like 6 different libraries of SQL, then you forget which ones call it what. Prep time does not exist in BP because it's called prep time minutes. And now invalid invalid syntax or type numeric. Okay, maybe we should do it like this. It's a bit nasty, but we could do it like this. Prep time hours. If it has hours and minutes, then we take out the hours. Like this. Split part. And else it's null. Oh, hold on. I want to keep those actually. This is prep time hours. And then we just do the same thing for the minutes and for the seconds, but we actually don't need the seconds because it's 0. So we'll just do like this. So if it's 0, it's 0, which is fine. Just null it instead. So if it's hours and minutes, then split the hour value. If it's hours and minutes, we need to split the minute value, which would be the second part. And we need to do it by also replacing this. Oh, we can take out the decimal. Actually, we could do both versions. Like this. We could ignore the hour value. Like this. Does that make sense? Let's see how this looks. Prep time minutes. So prep time hours. Prep time mins. What's the original column called? Tables, recipes, prep time. Prep time. I'm just gonna comment out this Oh, this is way too hard. Okay, I'm gonna leave the group by in, but I'm gonna do group by 1, 2, 3, and order by 1. Let's pray and hope this works. Because, yeah, okay. So PT 1008H, mins is null, and ours is null. Great. Cool. That's because of this. Let's try that again. So when you're doing this stuff, you always have to check the conditions of the case when, because if you don't, you will screw up. It's a given. 100%. And if you're enjoying this, do let me know in chat. It's gone very quiet. I'm always concerned that no one's there. And then Pretzel talks to me and I feel okay again. Ah, here we go. So we need to do a wildcard around here, because it's not picking up these hour values. See, we would have missed that otherwise. Something M. It didn't write it as that. Okay, that's not good. Regex replaced tidy prep time M. That's nasty. We actually don't know. We have to cover both cases here. It's what we had before. We have to cover both cases in the minutes because we need to account for if there's hours and minutes. Then we have to split it from the second value on the H. But if there's only minutes in there, like this one, then we need to only split. We don't need to split part. Or we need to split part on M and take the first value. Or no, we can just get rid of the M. We don't need to split. Way easier. Regex replace M with nothing, then we have the value. Yep. Okay, let's check. Did this work out? Y'all lurking super hard today. Let's see if this worked. Okay. Is there one with hours and minutes? There we go. 120 and 35. Fantastic. So now this works. We can definitely work with this. So we can cast both of these to numeric, or we'll call it decimal. No, it should be numeric. I feel like it should be numeric. Numeric. Oh, that doesn't work. Maybe we just have to do it here. Okay, that seems to work. So we have prep time hours times 60 in brackets because of that math law thing, which I don't remember what it's called. Order of operations. Prep times 60 plus prep times minutes as total prep time mins. Let's see if this is correct. Yeah, group by 1. BP prep time hours must appear in the group by clause or be used in an aggregate function. How about we do it like... Pretzel, what happened to you? Uh-oh. Pretzel has crashed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the universe. That's not a good thing. There we go. Pretzel's back. I still don't understand where that website link came from. How odd. Weird things today. Okay, so this aggregation is only something we can do later. So we will do prep time. So we'll call this data prep as I haven't checked if we can actually put this into another table yet. This is what this export function will be. And I assume we can maybe schedule that somehow. Because there's like a view. Save as a new view. Exactly. So tidy prep time, bucket prep time, data prep. Select star from data prep. So we have prep time, and then we have the... What? Just copy it. Seriously? Okay. Prep time hours. And the prep time mins. Blah, blah, blah. And the fat content. We can actually take everything with. Why not? But we'll just do it this way for now. Where calories over 500. We don't need a group by anymore. Take those out. All right. So we have now slightly sore throat. Need to drink more water. So this worked, it seems like. 1 hour, null, 5. I suppose we could just else 0. Might make it easier. And then we have the fat content, fine. And then what we do is we do... So we want the other stuff in there. So we'll do select star from there. And can we do this? Let's see if we can do this. So we want to do the prep time plus the minutes is the total prep time mins from bucket prep time. It's going to ask us to group by here, most probably. Or not. I don't know. I'm not sure it requires a group by. I don't think it does. So we have all the fields. The tidy prep time, all that stuff. We have all this stuff now with the total prep time in minutes. There we go. That's pretty cool. And now what we can do is just include the things that we want. So, what do we want? We want the recipes. We want... Shame there's no auto completion. We want the recipe ID. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, we'll just do star and we sort it out later. It also works. Save as a new view. So we'll call this recipe prep time. It's not a great name, okay? I will admit that. but we'll just save it as a new view. How often does the view get updated? Probably when you call it, if I had to guess. Let's see if Trevor can work with the view. So start from, can we go back here? Database map. Refresh. Can it find views? Okay. Refresh metadata. Let's hope it can find our view. Otherwise, we'll just have to prepare it as a static table. But it would be nice if it could remember the views, or find them at least. Would be very good. Yeah, nice. Recipe prep time. It says table. It's a view. But yeah. So this is what I want my team to see. AKA me. Nice. So, we don't need recipes. Ah, yeah. See? SQL views. Recipe prep time. So we have all this stuff in here. Oh, nice. It kept the steps from before. Oh! Professional grade beginner. How are you? Good to see you. Nice to catch you in my stream for a change. You should definitely go have a look at Mr. Beginner's stream. Some very, very dedicated programming, I have to say. I really admire his dedication. Really enjoy his streams. So go check him out if you have a chance. So we want to delete this. So we have to summarize something. So we'll do the average fat thing again. The average fat content is 63, but we want to drill down. Oh no, I don't want to drill down this way. Okay. So I want to do dimensions. Where is our prep time? Here we go. Total prep time mins. So now these are automatically all in minutes. So look at that. Look at that beautiful bucketing. What we could do is now summarize. What are we working on? Well, today we are taking Panoply for a test drive, which is this wonderful little, I would call it ETL or ELT tool. Allows you to basically, well, I didn't need to open a new tab, but basically you can take your data, put it in there, put it in tables, work with it like we did. We just created a new view called recipe prep time. And then you have a direct connection to different BI tools, like this one I'm trying out now, Trevor, which I didn't expect to be trying out today, but here we go. And it's really nifty. I quite like it. And it's just sort of showing the possibility of using low code or no code tools. I haven't done this basically any coding except SQL, which is not, is it coding yay or nay? You know, on the fence about that one. And the tool itself is not coding. So we didn't have to program pipelines. We didn't have to write any actual code to get data in or out. To model the data, yes, but rows, filter rows. So total prep time minutes, greater than We could bucket these again. Why don't we do that? This is the nice thing about here. So if this is bucket prep time, this is actually convert prep time. This is the total minutes, and now what we can do is take case when total prep time mins. What do we think is acceptable ranges for preparation times in minutes? I would say when the total prep time in minutes is under 5, then we'll call this quickie with no sexual connotations. Don't want to hear any of that. When the total prep time is less than 15, then we will call this lunch. Then we will do when the total prep time is less than 31, maybe just for consistency. Let's do it like this. 31 minutes, that's like fast still. Then when the total prep time in minutes is less than 61, we'll call it reasonable. When the total prep time is less than 110 minutes, I'm going to set this as, 117 minutes. I'm going to say this is more of like a dinner item, for sure. Or let's call this elaborate. Elaborate. And else, we're going to call it long. And what are we calling this? Prep time bucket. And then we take everything else in there. This is strange. Oh my gosh. The RAID is so large that it broke my module. That is quite a raid, people. Wow. Welcome, White Panther. I have a little special present for you as a thank you for your raid. If you would like it. Wow. Holy moly. Thank you, fearless leader of the Claw, for your beautiful raid. I hope your stream was great. Judging by the numbers, seems that it went pretty well. Wow. We are doing some pretty advanced stuff today. If you're just joining, we are taking this tool Panoply for a spin, which they have kindly decided to sponsor this stream. Doesn't mean that I have held back on my criticism. Hi, Rick. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Also, thank you to Rars for following, and John, and John Ada 999 and Fjorn25. Thank you all for the follow. It's much appreciated. Bonjour, Grüezi. Wow. Clovino, sorry if I'm butchering your username. Also, thank you very much for the follow. I didn't realize I hadn't caught your stream yet. Oh dear. That's unfortunate. I guess it's still processing the queue. Seifer, thank you very much for the follow. Very appreciative. And yeah, thanks for the raid, White Panther. Very cool. What we are doing is taking Panoply for a spin. We've uploaded a recipe database that we were playing with a few weeks back. If you'd like to go back, you raiders, and check out previous streams, then they are all on my YouTube channel. Link is in chat. You can go look at that. We did some cool stuff with recipes to figure out what kind of things I could cook for dinner. I see we have like achieved maximum hype level, which is quite cool. Select star from follower where you're such an adorable dork. Thank you, Rars. Appreciate it. And we didn't upload all 500,000 recipes because it was too much. We were only able to upload 100 megabyte CSVs. So we just put in half. Hi, Friesen. Nice to see you. Where's the bunny cam? There is no bunny cam yet. It's something I'm working on doing, and I will most definitely like to include that. Friesen, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. And Pauline, thank you very much as well for the follow. Wow, this is crazy what's happening. Yes, yet we will have a bunny cam eventually. Charlie, thank you for the follow, and Fruple, I like that one. Fruple XP, thank you as well for your follow. Very, very appreciative for all the people following and showing their support for Science and Tech on Twitch. It has not stopped. Zombie Foo, thank you very much as well for your follow. So we have so many recipes in here. We have 250,000 recipes. And well, this is not stopping. You got my name right. I'm so glad. I'm not sure why my website keeps getting posted in there. It's very odd. I think there's a timer in the background. Okay, Mia Moore? Yes, Exo Mia Moore, thank you very much for the follow. That one I had trouble reading first. I had to figure out which part was name. Friesen. Well, I have a question. I'm starting a career of computer analyst and I have a question. Maybe you can solve it for me because I don't get it yet. It's about pseudocode. When you have time, I'll ask you. Wow. That sounds very interesting. 250,000 recipes. Wow. Yeah, that's only half. That's only half the recipe. Oh yeah. Okay. I almost tried to pronounce the XO, Mia, but I caught myself before it happened. Geeky girl Sarah, thank you very much for your follow as well. Show me more. Show me more. It's a little bit of a Sean Connery impression there. But anyway, Panoply has been very cool because we can do everything without coding. It doesn't mean that you should. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, like you can do things without code, but you don't have to. But Panoply allows you to, which is very cool if you want a no-code solution. We've decided to write some SQL in a view, which I'm currently just kind of wondering how to get this to do what I want. Okay, let's go back out of here. It should have saved my thing. I'm sorry for not having dark mode. Gak already said that he would like to have dark mode. Okay, this is not working. Save as. Well, we're just gonna overwrite it. Prep time. Is there no way? I see. You have to actually open the view through this. Okay. Okay. Oh wow, what did it do here? What? Holy moly. What? Okay, that's very unexpected. I didn't realize it would do that. Oh, Friesen. Okay, so you want to perform an algorithm to calculate the area of a triangle. This sounds like hardcore math. This sounds like really hardcore math. Knowing that b is equivalent to the base, h to the height, a to the area, found the formula to calculate. Distinguish which are input data, which are output data, and which is the calculation instruction that processes said data. I'm pretty certain, I'm 99.9% certain that I cannot help you with this, unfortunately. The recipe database sounds super interesting. Did you say that there was a CSV? Yeah, it sounds like trigonometry to me, right, Steffi? Pseudocode. I mean, it would just not be real code. It'd just be pseudocode. Wouldn't... Maybe someone in chat can help you out. I'm not sure how to solve that one. I'm terrible at math, just FYI. So what I want to do is I want to save this as our new one. So I'm just going to call this recipe prep time 2. This is not best practice. For sure not. And this Trevor.io thing is pretty nice because basically it allows you to just directly connect to your Panoply instance. And as Trevor was so kind to tell me, so not Trevor.io, Trevor from Panoply. It's Postgres, Redshift in the background. Wow. Along with Chris, thank you for the follow. Is it your first time catching the stream? Would be interested to know what is happening here. Okay, it's preparing. It takes a while sometimes. But yeah, it's Redshift in the background. Oh no, something went wrong. Let's just refresh. I probably just did something weird. Recipe prep time, table access. Oh, okay, yeah, it's here. Prep time 2. And now when I go back to my query builder, oh, it didn't save it. That's fine. I don't really care. I thought it would save the previous one. So we have recipe prep time. We can summarize the average fat content by our little bucket. Yeah, prep time bucket. So this is what we wanted to achieve, which we achieved. Let me just show you. So they're not named really well. I probably would have found better names if I'd had more time. Or was more creative. Oh, you came in on the raid. Wonderful, Chris. Along with Chris. I don't know if you abbreviate your username. Do people generally abbreviate usernames? Oh, this one's a challenge. Okay. Carses. If I butchered it, I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow. Very appreciated. So yeah, I didn't really name these really well, but Chris is fine. That's good. Good to know. I didn't name these that well, but I just wanted to see how this whole thing works. And so we can actually do a lot of cool stuff. We can do not only we can do the average fat content, but we could also do other ones. So for example, calories, I don't know, sugar, and maybe saturated fat. Saturated fat. So this is something, right? Once you've modeled the data set underneath, and we have this beautiful model, right? Because we have this view, recipe prep time 2. And what the view does, we can, if I just run this query, you can actually see. Carses, go for it. If you want to write code for Friesen, I'm sure they would be super appreciative. Or pseudocode, if you will. So yeah, we have all these classifications now of how much time it needs, and the prep time bucket is based off the total time. But yeah, this is basically what the data model now looks like. It's not a perfect data model, of course. We just sort of whipped it up in an hour or so. But we were able to get the data in here super fast. I mean, if you were doing this in your normal pace without commenting everything on Twitch, you would probably be able to do it in 15 minutes. And you can take this whole thing for a spin for free, which is really cool, without writing any code. And then you can just try out something like Trevor.io, which I didn't know about, which was recommended to me here in the BI connection part as a potential connection. Can you whip me up some food in an hour or so? Well, so this is the classification that we did, Roars. This website thing is driving me nuts now. I don't know why it's coming in there. Give me one moment. This is really pissing me off. The music is currently Night Sky by Wantolia. So there is some kind of timer going off posting my website, which is odd. It's a great song, actually. I like this one. I don't know. It's just a command response. I don't understand why it's telling people where they can find my website. Well, anyway, it's good spam, I guess. So yeah, you can just take this whole thing for a test drive, and then you can do this cool visualization stuff. Now we can have a bar chart. And so basically this is what we found out. Okay, calories, this is just an average, right? We can even change the colors here. Check this out. Oh, this is super cool. I'm by no means a visualization expert. Rars, you don't need to spam my website. That's bad spam now, you see? How do you do that privacy screen? Is that an OBS function? It's actually something I borrowed from someone else who borrowed it from someone else. I'd have to dig up the link. So if you could send me a whisper, Chris, I can make sure to dig up the link and send it to you, so I don't forget after my streams. But it basically just is like, Roars, thank you so much. Exactly. So it's a little, it basically makes a very, very low resolution image and overlays it onto the same screen. And I just have it set up on a toggle on my iPad, which is running Touch Portal. Roars, you are the bestest. Most definitely. NIST. Definitely NIST bestest. So these are poor color choices because they look too similar. I'm gonna make them very different. Like this. So this is great. Now we can see that depending on how long, you're not asbestos, no, you're asbestostos. Depending on how long a recipe takes to make, so these are these categories, the prep time buckets. So reasonable, quickie, lunch, long, fast, elaborate. The recipes tend to have different statistics. So the stuff that takes a long time tends to have more calories. I don't know if this is a huge insight or not, but it, you know, it is the way it is. If we go back to our query, how do we go back to this? Yeah, I'm gonna actually take out, which one was the one causing the bar to be so large? The calories. Let's take out the calories. I don't feel like seeing them anymore. And that's how fast that's done. And then we can go back to our bar chart. I wonder if it kept our color choices. That should be interesting. Yeah, so we can see that long recipes in general with average fat content and average sugar content tend to be less healthy. Very basic insights here. Like, don't read too much into this, people, please. It's not a super sophisticated analysis, but the power of being able to load in some CSV. And who was asking about Fjorn? I believe you were asking about the recipe database. It is just from Kaggle. So I've been exploring Kaggle for some time to find good data sets because they are open source. And what I did is I typed in food or recipes or something like that, and I believe it was, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was this one. Sorry, I just had to sneeze and the music also stopped at the same time. So not that you thought if the stream went down. Oh, there's a Destiny 2 wrap. I think we will skip this. So you can just go to Kaggle, Fjorn, and you can find these. Thank you, Roars, for the I'm blessed. Epicurious. I don't know if these are the right ones. There's also food images. But if you're interested in getting the actual data set I used, I do have it saved, and I can, like, I don't know, Dropbox it to you or something like this, or whale mail or whatever. Whatever the big sending tools are, because it's pretty chunky. As you can see, like, these are like 200 megs and stuff. Or I can stick it in Google Drive. I might do that anyway if people want to have access to the raw data sets that I use in previous streams. I could do that. Feel free to also pop a suggestion in my suggestion box. And Rars, thank you for the subscription. Really, honestly, I'm very appreciative of your support. You're great, as Tony the Tiger just said. You just want to be a founder. Well, there's a few left. If anyone else would like to have beautiful founder badge, and of course graph icons. If you are subscribed for a year, you will unlock the pie chart, which is the glorious chart, right? You'll do some digging. I hadn't heard of Kaggle before. You've been trying out data.gov. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Kaggle is actually kind of competition based, because there are basically a lot of competitions that are based on I would say mostly machine learning. Not all of them, but you need to do a lot of kind of there are a lot of projects here that you can do on Kaggle. If you're really into working with data, then it's a really cool way to step up your knowledge and also compete for cool things. Like, some of these things are pretty ridiculous in terms of the money you can win, if you win, that is, but the competition is pretty stiff, I would say. So for example, this one, Jane Street Market Prediction, buy low, sell high. So this is like some trading model, and they're willing to pay 100,000 for the best team. The competition is evaluated on utility score, and so you really need to understand what you're doing. I have no idea what this is. I really could not tell you. A lot of it is, you know, based on solid math skills, but this is really more tailored towards data scientists, I would say. Serious stuff, but a lot of the cool competitions, like a lot of the cool ones are smaller. I would say, like, you can kind of look at some of the older competitions, like there's some like sports stuff in there. There's some cool stuff about all kinds of interesting stuff. Hungry geese, don't stop eating. So this is like some kind of video game thing. You create an AI agent to play against others and survive the longest. So your objective is to create an AI that can play the longest against other players, right? So there's some really cool stuff in here. So if you're into that kind of thing, then I can highly recommend it. I use it basically to get cool data sets. Obviously there's some really hardcore ones like that are very popular and very upvoted, like Netflix movies and TV shows, because people try and build algorithms and stuff. Or yeah, there's some really nice ones in here about like predicting certain health things, and obviously COVID is massive, the research behind it, restaurant rankings, all kinds of cool stuff. Fish data. You can get a lot of image data from here. Goose like snake? That sounds like a weird game in some way. Yeah, I mean, of course, like all the Wall Street bets posts. But anyway, I digress. Panoply, we are here testing Panoply, and we are sort of getting to the end of the stream. So I'd just like to wrap up a little bit about some of my thoughts around Panoply and just like ETL in general, or ELT. So as we saw, like if you've been here for the whole stream or if you're just joining now, basically what we were able to do was take a source file, in our case just some CSV files that we had, that we'd actually imported into Postgres, but we didn't even need to do that. We could just take raw CSV file from Kaggle, anything that we want, upload it in here, work with it in the table. So we can say, oh, we want to have this split that way, and there's a lot of cool things that you can do, and it tells you like you can create like nested relationships if you have JSON data, which would be very helpful, because then you don't need to do the ugly code that we did a few weeks back when we were working with the recipe data, where we had to actually process this stuff into like regex to exclude this and regex to exclude that. And you know, this is really cool. You can select if something is primary key, all this kind of stuff. So you're really doing in database operations, but in your browser, right? So literally no code. Then you can go to your workbench and you can write SQL, you can create views like we did with these prep times, which was just one thing I was looking to do anyway, which now we have the code for it, which is cool. And it's saved as a view, so we can just open our view and say, okay, show me what the code is like. And you see we have some really interesting logic that they're doing, because I didn't write it this way, but they've obviously, Panoply's decided to oh, Rick, your first 100 shoes. Congratulations on getting your first 100 shoes. You can save them up, of course, for sounds. There's a couple sounds in there that you can use. But we'll probably be putting up a community goal next week as well. Yeah, so there's obviously, Panoply has gone to some extent to parse the SQL as well that you write, but you wouldn't need to technically write this, right? If you had a very clean CSV file, then you could do this how you want. But essentially you could also just upload, I mean, you could pipe in data from all this kind of, yeah, all kinds of data sources, right? I mean, they support a lot of different data sources, really. So if you notice here, White Panther, they support Contentful, for example. So you could actually pipe data from your Contentful headless CMS, essentially. Put that in there. You can get stuff from Cloud SQL, from MySQL or Postgres. You can get stuff from things like Optimizely, stuff I've never heard before, like QuickBase, SaaS charging solutions like Recurly. There might be Zora in here as well. Yeah, Zora. And all these connections basically just mean that you can bring your data into one place. right? That's kind of the objective here. And you have the option to request a data source so they know that it's something that the people want to see. And basically, once you've put all that stuff in there, you could build your entire data warehouse in here with little to no code at all. And there's some actual ETL tools supported too. If you already have one of those in your stack and you wanted to add Panoply onto it, because Panoply supports these BI connections. And I keep doing that. Keep clicking the screen and showing my email, but whatever. I assume people won't spam me. And anyway, yeah, you have all these different supported tools, and we tried out Trevor, but you could technically, of course, connect it to anything like a Jupyter notebook, which might be something we're doing in a stream soon. But yeah, you could do a lot of cool stuff, and we just scratched the surface of being able to import, work with, and visualize data in a 2-hour window, which I think is super cool and does a lot for data democracy, especially if you're a smaller company and you don't have data resources at your disposal. This is a fantastic way to get the ball rolling in your organization, get people talking about different data that you have. Of course, you need to have someone that does this stuff. You'll never get around that. I don't think you can outsource business knowledge in the sense that you can outsource, someone to do this kind of work for you, but you need to ask questions. The business needs to know what kind of things they want to look at and things like that. But I think this is very powerful and very cool. And this query builder I quite like. Big fan of this. I think this all SaaS, right? They all have different pricing models and things, but ultimately it is a really, really interesting way to work with data and to avoid setting up things on your own when you're not sure about what direction you want to go, or you want to test some things out and take them for a spin like we've been doing today. So that is Panoply. If people are here from Panoply, thank you. I appreciate the chance to rip through your tool online in front of an audience. I hope everyone watching the stream today has thought it's been interesting. Is it expensive? That depends on your definition of what value you will get from it. So I'll just bring up the site. You can also go to the site as well. Just put the link there in chat for you. The pricing is as follows. If you have 2 data sources, you get 5 gigs of storage and interactive help, and it's $200 a month. I mean, my personal opinion is if you wanted to hire someone to do this for you, it would cost you significantly more than $200 a month, even if you kept that person only on standby after they initially set everything up. The initial setup with a code-based solution would set you back, I don't know how long, right? And that recoup on investment won't happen very fast at this rate. When you start to talk about enterprise, then yes, I think it's worth considering, weighing up the options of, do you want to do all the code yourself? Do you want to own data resources in your organization? Do you want data engineering to just pipe stuff from A to Z? Or do you want those resources to take on important tasks like modeling, working with the business stakeholders and things like that? That's all really dependent on your organization and their setup. Obviously, if you're a very large company, like 100,000 employees, you're not going to be looking at a solution like Panoply. This is the reality. But as a small company with, one person doing like a lot of type of analysis work with just Google Analytics, for example, and that person wants to like pull data. So as you say, Rick, yeah, if you want to pull data from Google, Facebook, Criteo, you want to pull it together and you want to put it into your BI, then I think it's a valid solution. Sure, there are good solutions to look at there are other solutions out there as well, but I think it's a solid offering, to be honest. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, just because this is sponsored doesn't mean that I don't get to say my real opinion. They're not, you know, paying me to say something that I don't believe. I believe the product is really good, and I tested this about a month ago with them, and it was really interesting because there are some things that have already changed that are pretty interesting for me, because we had some problems uploading files, and they've obviously reworked that process because it worked a lot better. I was able to put semicolon in here, so obviously the development speed is also super fast. That's exactly my point, that you don't have the graphical connection, you don't have the BI connection in a lot of the cheaper tools. You won't have this, and that's a huge thing. And for example, if you use Tableau, right, your organization might be more mature, but they might have a very static data warehouse that only has one data source in it. And, you know, all of your marketing people are like, yeah, but what about, you know, Google ads data, and what about Facebook ads data, and what about LinkedIn ads and all that stuff? And, you know, all the devs are like, yeah, well, we only manage, your data engineers, for example, are like, oh, we only manage the data coming from, I don't know, Salesforce and nothing else, because that's in-house. You know, you have to figure that out yourself. This could be a very viable solution. Using supermetrics. Oh, yeah. This old tale. Eventually, you get past supermetrics and you say, I want to stop doing stuff in Google Sheets. I want to do something in a real database. And supermetrics gets pretty pricey as well, depending how much data you're piping. So yeah, it all comes down to your individual situation. And if you use something like Data Studio, that's great. But you should definitely, like, if you consider this kind of solution, right? For example, here, if I want to pipe something into BigQuery, right? I could do that. I could put everything into BigQuery and just sit Data Studio on top of it. I don't need Panoply to take care of that connection, because that Data Studio does that natively. That's also cool, right? So there's a lot of flexibility here due to the fact that they have so many. Yeah, it's a real database because it's Redshift behind it, and that's why you're paying for the storage, right? That being said, you know, you don't have to use it. If you have 5 GBs, it's 5 GBs, right? It's still quite a bit. But if you wanted to use BigQuery in addition, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Real Trevor Foe, he's one of the representatives from Panoply. You can definitely get in touch with him if you want some more information. You can also just go do a trial, try it out for yourself, see how it works. I have a problem with my Google account connecting to it, but you probably won't. You can just connect it up and see how it works, and if you like it, then you can keep it. And just sign Supermetrics for a year with 3 licenses. I guess we were one day too late with the stream then. But I used Supermetrics for almost 2.5 years, and I can say that this is a lot. For me, this is a bit more of a mature solution. So for a really small business entity, small company, doing stuff in Google Sheets is okay. But I mean, we had the situation that someone actually modified one of the Google Sheets because of the permissions that we had set up, and yeah, it went pretty nasty. So just make sure you're double checking things like permissions on the Google Sheets that you're writing data to, that you're checking things like ownership. I don't know if you have like an accident or something and you're out of work for like 2 or 3 weeks, that people can access that stuff if they need to, because the license is tied to each individual user and stuff like that. So yeah, just be aware of those kinds of things. But I think you've got a handle on that, Rick. From judging from your level, I think you've got a good handle on that. So I think we will call it. Oh, you learned that this week, yeah. So thank you to everybody who has joined today, to Roars for your sub, to White Panther for your raid. Once again, if you weren't here as part of White Panther's raid, definitely go check out her streams because they are incredible. The content that she puts out is just incredible. Rick, thank you so much. Streams are always Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. CET, with sometimes a bonus stream thrown in on the weekend or during the week if I have time. And otherwise, you can watch all the previous streams. Perfect. Thank you, Trevor. You can watch all the previous streams on YouTube. They usually go up with about 2 or 3 days delay. And so that's it. I thank you all for joining again. Thank you again to Panoply for allowing me to take your tool for a test drive in public. I don't think a lot of SaaS companies would like that so much, having someone expose their tool kind of for the nitty-grittiness that it is. But I really like it. I think it's very cool. And I will catch you all again on Monday. Take care and enjoy your weekend. Oh, of course we're going to be raiding. I didn't mention that, but we will be raiding someone. We're going to go raid Shirley. She is a very, very advanced data viz expert.